All right, folks. The douche is back again. This is the second time I'm shooting this video. I was almost done. I don't even want to go into it. If I run out of this beer that I'm drinking right now before I finish this, there's gonna be a problem. This is what we've got. Celebration, Fresh Hop IPA. This is like their, holiday beer that they come out with every year. It's good, it's strong. So today, for you, we're doing mostly, I guess it's everything is something that I've recently spun. Some of them are new finds. Blah, blah, blah. Now I'm doing this a second time. It's getting a little bit annoying. So, first up, Archers of Loaf, All the Nations Airports. I saw that they had reissued some of these Archers of Loaf's albums. And so I went back and listened to this one out of my collection. This is not a new find. This is an original from 1996 on Alias Records. I think that the CD was on like Elektra or something. You can see this is the inner sleeve, original inner sleeve, has the like airline ticket. This is not my favorite Archers of Loaf by a mile, but I do have a lot of affection for this one. I had a 7-inch from this also at the same time. Assassination on Christmas Eve is a holiday favorite, in my household. That track, Vocal Shrapnel's great. Strangled by the Stereo Wire, All the Nations Airports. And let me tell you, 1996, this was pressed. This is a very nice pressing. Just some crappy record released in 1996, and guess what? None of the issues that we frequently encounter on records being pressed today. But of course, that was probably not as many being done. So, next one is a common one everybody knows. This is a reissue that is from 2017. The release is from 1969. It's the Flying Burrito Brothers, Gilded Palace of Sin. All-time classic album cover. All the way around. Just a great record. I don't need to talk about it, except I will say this is on Intervention Records. The quality of this reissue is outstanding. It's cut from a safety copy of the master tape, is what they say. But on the strength of this, I have confidence if something's out on Intervention Records that I'm interested in. I know they're doing the record that comes after this by the Flying Burrito Brothers. I will get that because I know, or I feel like it's going to be a high quality reissue. There's the label. You can see it's a replica of the original, but it has the IR for Intervention Records on there. Something completely different. This is We. The name of the record is As Is. I think if you look it up, it's We with the trademark TM. This was released in 1997 on Asphodel Records out of New York City. This is electronic, I would call it psychedelic electronic music, it's kind of ambient, kind of drum and bassy. They use the term ambient for the genre. I think they use that, Asphodel did, on a number of their releases. This is not hard to get, and certainly not something that everybody would be into, but I don't think it was ever super popular, at least not that I'm aware of. It's a double 45 RPM record. The track listing is different than the CD. I've had the CD since whenever, since I guess 1997. But I got this recently, maybe a couple of months ago, because these are so cheap. Now, if you don't like electronic, this is 90s. It's not really like a lot of 90s electronic music. It's very trippy, but who knows? All right, next one is completely different again, or completely different from that. This is the Gerbils. The name of the album is Are You Sleepy? This is from 1998. This is on Earworm Records out of the UK. Earworm there, and you can see it's Elephant Six related. At the time, I was all about them, but Elephant Six stuff. But this got a little bit of buzz because there were, it came out, I think that it came out just after Neutral Milk Hotel's in there playing Over the Sea. And a number of these guys played on that record, and so they the marketing was that from members of Neutral Milk Hotel, and then this was their record. This is their first record. I think it's great. It's pretty lo-fi. I don't think that I would say that if you like Neutral Milk Hotels and the Airplane Over the Sea that you would like this necessarily. I think some people would like this more. But people that are just dabbling in and then they like that one, they might not like this at all. Their second record, not nearly as good as this one. Is what you're dealing with there. This I've had for a long time, so not a recent pickup, but every once in a while I do like to throw that one on. It's really enjoyable. All right, next one is a recent find. It's Momus on Creation Records from 1990. It's Monsters of Love, singles 1985 to 1985 to 1990. So I like Momus a lot. I'm more like what he did later, I think, although some of this early stuff I do really like. However, this, and I think that I had this on CD. I got this not very long ago, a few weeks ago or something, because it was pretty cheap. I wouldn't recommend this to somebody trying to check out Momus. He's from the UK. He had some amount of success in Japan later on, writing songs for other artists, and then I guess maybe a little bit of his own stuff. I don't think this is a great compilation for somebody that's into him, and I don't think that it's a good starting point for someone that isn't. There are good songs on here. The Hotel Marquis de Sade is good. Murderers, The Hope of Women is good. The Hairstyle of the Devil. I mean, there's good songs on here. It just strikes me as not a great compilation. All right, again, everybody knows this Creation label. Okay, the next one is one that it was originally released on Creation in 1996. This is one that was released, it was a reissue that came out on Record Store Day in 2017. They had done a deluxe CD version in 2016 for the 20th anniversary, and then in April of 2017 they did the vinyl reissue, limited 2,000 copies. And like a lot of things with Record Store Day, I just bought this and it pays to wait. I got it for, say, about half of what it was selling for on that day, and it's easily attainable for that amount without any problem. I was going to buy it, and I think initially I could not find it, and then for whatever reason, I think I hemmed and hawed over the price. It's my least favorite record by the band, but it's a band that I really like. So it's the Super Furry Animals, Fuzzy Logic. It's a nice gatefold. Again, it was originally on Creation. It has a nice, it's a nice little package. It's not sensational. It has, inner sleeve with the lyrics on one side and more. It's pretty nice. I'm a really big fan of theirs. However, I think that the next handful of records that come after this are like next level compared to this. It's really good. It's think of like early mid-70s psychedelic rock, space rock. This one's a little bit uneven, maybe. However, because of what I just said, if I think about over the last 20 years, I'm much more likely to listen to these other records than this one. And now having gotten this and then listening to it, I think it's a really good record. It's still certainly my least favorite. This is a custom label. I'm not going to take it out. Alright, again, something completely different, but also somewhat, not even modern, somewhat modern. This is from, originally released in 2001, and for the first time on vinyl in 2012. This is the Pernice Brothers, The World Won't End. The record cover, I think, is a crop of the CD sleeve. I feel like the CD sleeve was the whole bird. Anyway, I consider this like a power pop classic. It's Joe Pernice from the Scud Mountain Brothers. Tell me if I'm wrong. Reissue on American Dust. First time on vinyl is cheap. Comes with the lyric sheet. Pressing is reasonably good. I think it's a good record. Certainly one that I listened to a ton at the time. Yeah, so American Dust. It's a label. They had originally been on Sub Pop, and I think this might be their first record that was, Pernice Brothers particularly, their first record that was not on Sub Pop. I don't know if it's Ashmont Records that it was on originally in 2001. All right, so just a couple more here. I guess 3 more. This one I'm not going to take out because it's a common new record. So from 2018, this Courtney Barnett record that everybody should know. Tell Me How You Really Feel. I only got this recently. I know a lot of people have mixed opinions on this, but having it now and listening to it several times recently, including just this week, I think it's really good. I actually somewhat regret seeing her just, I guess, a few months ago. I had to go to Tucson for another concert that maybe I'll talk about another time, but she was playing in Phoenix the night before so I didn't want to double down. But anyway, that's a good record. And then again, something completely different. This is one I got, it's been a little while now. Maybe this one's, I wouldn't call this a new find. It's jazz, free jazz. So, Archie Shepp, 3 for a quarter, 1 for a dime. I absolutely love this album cover. Big time. So on Impulse, I think that this is the only time it's ever been released on vinyl. I don't think it was ever repressed by Impulse. And I don't think that it's been reissued, although I could certainly be wrong. This is, when I got this, it was still in the shrink. And so like the gatefold, if I'm not sure I can pull it any further back. There's kind of the laminate kind of coming up. Maybe you can see, yeah, you can see there. But otherwise, this thing is in beautiful condition for how old it is. So this was released in 1969. It's from a club, it's live recording from a club in San Francisco in 1966. Does it say that in here? I'm pretty sure. It doesn't say, it might, there's like a paragraph there. I'm not going to read it. But you've got to really be, in the right headspace to throw this thing on. And so I happen to be in the right headspace recently. And when you're there where it wants you to be, this is pretty spectacular. At least in my opinion. I don't even know if, this isn't a record that's very well, that you hear a lot about even among people that like this kind of music. So it might not be very well regarded even in that aspect. But I love the cover. And every once in a while I really like this music. Alright, so it's also, here's the record itself. One more, which will be of even less interest than that one. So there were these reissues, and I don't know if they are associated. They don't say Light in the Attic on them, but I noticed that you can find these on the Light in the Attic website. And I had seen these quite a while ago. Actually bought 3 of them just recently. They're of, let me just talk about this one instead of talking about. This is Thai music from Thailand from the 70s and 80s. It's a compilation. It's called Classic Isan Pops from the 70s and 80s, the Essential Doi Intanam. And so let's start off by saying that this is a really bad cover. So I'm half Thai, and I've been to Thailand a number of times, and so I'm somewhat familiar with Thai music. And so when I originally saw that these had come out, I was somewhat intrigued on just exploring this kind of music level. that said, I didn't know any of this. It's Isan Pops, so it's music from northeast Thailand, which is where my mother is from. And so when I go there, I hear, from the younger people, like the music that they listen to, not only just younger people, even older people. I had higher hopes for this than what it turned out. It's not bad. I don't think most people would be into it. There was a couple compilations of, they call it like Malam. It's like Thai country music, basically, which is not like anything like American country music, obviously. But what's interesting about this, so it's a compilation of hits from the 70s and 80s. I don't know how big of hits they were, especially at that time. I don't know how popular this music was, generally speaking. But this guy, Toy, I'm certain to be butchering his name, Intanon. He was kind of like a hitmaker guy, or like a producer. Like, I don't know who would be somebody like that. I don't know. Quincy Jones, something like that. He would find these people and, do what he did. There is an insert. Guess what? I have not read it. It's got photos. And a lot of stuff I probably should have read before I started talking about it, huh? Anyway, I guess what's interesting about it is that these are songs from the 70s and 80s. And if you go to Thailand and listen to not necessarily so it's Thai country music, they actually speak a slightly different language even than people in southern Thailand or Bangkok or whatever. But these songs are still on the radio everywhere because there's so many of those people working all over the place. So this stuff is popular. It's very interesting to hear the traditional old sounds that are on here. And if you go there now, the hit songs have very similar structures and instrumentation to this. Anyway, I've talked way too long about this record. Here's the label. I don't know if Light in the Attic put this out, because it does not say Light in the Attic on it at all. It says M Records, EM, and then Soy 48 is the like a joint thing. Soy 48, so Soy 48 is like 48th Street, I think is what that translates to. Oh, anyway, that's all I got for you today. It's been too long, so I'm not going to show you what we just listened to. That seems to have just ended. But I'm sure you figured that it was late 60s and early 70s German soft porn, the soundtrack from German soft porn. It's Schoolgirl Report, Gert Wilden and Orchestra. No bad words, only dirty thoughts. Anyway, I saw somebody else in the VC show the actual LP. I do not have that. I just have the CD, which I've had the promo of since I guess this came out in 1996 also. Whatever. Thanks for stopping out. Appreciate it. Talk to you guys later.